You have understood passive thinking and active thinking. Passive thinking directed by without, active thinking directed from within. Now understand continuity. Continuity of the seed means this: the development of the seed requires unbroken thinking. Not perfect thinking, not thinking of a special quality, unbroken thinking, thinking that returns to the seed after interruption, thinking that does not abandon the seed when conditions speak. This is continuity. This is the 7-Minute Daily Focus, day 123 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus: the law of seed, continuity of the seed. Pause for a moment. 10 days in, you have understood passive thinking and active thinking. Passive thinking directed by without, active thinking directed from within. Now understand continuity. Continuity of the seed means this: the development of the seed requires unbroken thinking. Not perfect thinking, not thinking of a special quality, unbroken thinking, thinking that returns to the seed after interruption, thinking that does not abandon the seed when conditions speak. This is continuity. Pause. Understand what continuity means precisely. It does not mean you never think of anything else. It does not mean the seed occupies every conscious thought at every moment. Continuity means the seed is never permanently abandoned, that every time thinking moves away from the seed, it returns, that the seed remains the consistent reference point, the consistent inner reality, that thinking returns to again and again, throughout each day, throughout each week, throughout the entire period of development. Thought is within, effect is without. Thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. The contrast is interruption. Interruption is when thinking moves away from the seed and does not return, when conditions speak and thinking shifts to match what is without, when appearances suggest the seed is not real and thinking agrees, when what is physically seen contradicts what is within and thinking follows what is without. This is interruption, and interrupted development is delayed expression, not because the seed is harmed, the seed remains complete, but because the development of the seed requires continuous thinking to progress. Pause. Consider continuity through the image of the river. A river that flows continuously cuts through stone, not because each individual drop of water is powerful, but because the flow is continuous. Day after day, week after week, the continuity of the flow achieves what no single event of water could. Continuous thinking upon the seed operates by the same principle. Each act of returning to the seed may seem small, but the continuity, the unbroken return, is what develops the seed fully. Pause. Continuity is also what bridges the distance between this morning and the expression of the seed. That distance is not closed in a single morning. It is closed over days and weeks of continuous thinking upon the seed. Each morning you return. Each return contributes to development, and development accumulates until the seed is fully developed and expression follows. This is why continuity matters more than intensity. A steady river is more powerful than a flood that subsides. Pause. How do you maintain continuity? Through the morning practice. That is the anchor, the point to which thinking returns every day without fail, even when what is without has been loud, even when the day has been demanding, even when conditions have spoken against what is within. The morning practice ensures that thinking returns to the seed, that the seed is recognized again, that development continues. And in doing so, the morning practice is the instrument of continuity. Pause. Continuity also means returning within the day, not only in the morning, in the moments between activities, in the quiet spaces, in the brief return of awareness to what is within. The seed is still there, still complete. And a brief conscious return, a moment of active thinking directed toward the seed, reinforces the continuity, keeps the development steady, keeps thinking aligned with what is within. Pause. Continuity is also measured in small moments, not large ones. Each time the mind moves away from the seed and then returns, that is a small act of continuity. Each small act of return matters. Not because any single return is monumental, but because the accumulated pattern of return is what continuity is built from. You are not asked to make dramatic gestures of commitment. You are asked to return again and again. In the morning, in the quiet spaces of the day, in the evening before sleep. Each return is a brick, and the wall of continuity is built brick by brick until it becomes so established that it is simply the way you operate. Pause. Here is what continuity looks like from the perspective of the law. The law sees the sustained pattern of thinking over time, not the quality of any single moment, not whether a particular morning was clear or labored. The pattern, the consistent return, the unbroken sustenance of the seed over days and weeks. And it is that pattern, that sustained, continuous, unbroken thinking that the law responds to. Not the intensity of a single session, not the enthusiasm of a particular morning, the consistency of the return, day after day. This is what the law rewards, and this is what continuity provides. Pause. Continuity of the seed has one enemy above all others: discouragement. Discouragement is what happens when the physical world has not yet confirmed what is within, and the mind interprets that as evidence that the seed is not developing. And from discouragement, the daily practice is missed. The return to the seed is skipped, and continuity is broken. But understand this: discouragement is a report from without. It is the five senses telling you that the physical world has not yet confirmed the seed. And that report, like all reports from without, is secondary. It is expression speaking, not the seed speaking. The seed is still complete. Development is still underway. The practice must continue. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed. Not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused, remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Pause. Continuity of the seed means you do not start over. You do not reset. You do not abandon what has been building because conditions suggest you should. You return every morning to the seed that is still complete, to the development that has been underway, and you continue. This is continuity, and continuity, sustained over the full period of development, is what brings the seed to full expression, without compromise, without deviation, exactly as the seed holds. Pause. Understand this. Every day you return to this practice, you are extending the river. You are deepening the ground. You are continuing the development of the seed. And what you are doing here, day by day, is building the unbroken continuity that the law requires, not perfectly, but persistently. And persistence in returning is continuity. And continuity is development. And development is expression. Now, the affirmation for day 123. Pause for a moment. I maintain continuity. I return to the seed every day, every morning. I do not abandon what is within because of what is without. I return, even after interruption, even after conditions have spoken. I return because the seed is still there, still complete, still developing. My position is to continue, to sustain, to return. And through that return, continuity is maintained. And through continuity, the seed develops fully. And what is fully developed unfolds. And what unfolds must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus.